Prime Minister did refer to the line of actual control in Ladakh, the incidents of the previous year, and he emphasized that peace and tranquility in the border areas was an essential prerequisite for normalization of relations with China. Let me begin by saying that the two leaders exchanged views on important topical areas relating to our region and beyond. Obviously, the Ukraine issue was discussed, as was the issue of China. On Ukraine, I think it was clear that the two sides had referred to the Quad summit, in which the leaders had a fairly clear perspective that the situation in Ukraine should not impact on the Indo-Pacific, and that the focus and priority of the Indo-Pacific for the Quad and for our countries should continue to remain as they were. Prime Minister, I think Morrison was quite clear that as far as he was concerned, the Quad's focus was on the Indo-Pacific, and that he had made that clear at the Quad, and he has continued to emphasize that aspect in our discussions with us. He also, I think, expressed understanding for India's position on the issue of Ukraine, which he felt was definitely reflected our own situation, our own sort of considerations as far as the overall aspects of the discussion on Ukraine were concerned. I think there was a sense that there was concern, serious concern, you can say, about the ongoing conflict and the humanitarian situation in the Ukraine. This is something that both leaders clearly spoke about, and I think also the need for a cessation of hostilities and violence in that regard. I think there was equal emphasis on the fact that the international order stands on the UN Charter on the rule of law and respect for the territorial integrity and sovereignty of states. That aspect was also an area that both leaders very clearly emphasized. And of course, the humanitarian aspects of the situation, both in terms of allowing consideration for civilians, especially women and children, and also humanitarian assistance to Ukraine, was something that was clearly spoken about, and you will find that these are areas that are clearly there. But what I'm saying is that there was a clear sense of both sides understood where they came from, and I think there was a great deal of comfort in the fact that both of us saw the fact that the conflict in Europe should not be a reason for us to divert our attention from the Indo-Pacific region, and that our position as far as the Quad is concerned also was on similar lines. The other issue, I think, Siddhant, you had asked about critical minerals.
China.
Yeah, well, on China, of course, I think both leaders exchanged their perspectives. Prime Minister did refer to the line of actual control in Ladakh, the incidents of the previous year, and he emphasized that peace and tranquility in the border areas was an essential prerequisite for normalization of relations with China. Prime Minister Morrison also gave a fairly detailed perspective of how he saw China and its actions in the region, and he spoke in particular about the South China Sea.